Hey, everybody. Already got the guest up tonight. Guest of honor is Thomas Barnes from Digstock Events.
What's
I
going
got
on?
the pleasure of meeting Thomas in person and doing a little arrowhead hunting.
Yeah, yeah, we've been out on a little
And
expedition there.
this is probably yeah, and this is probably the smoothest talker around because he can get any permission. I've seen him. I've seen him in action. There is nobody better. But let me say hi to everybody in the chat real quick who we got right now, and then we'll get on with it and let everybody know who Thomas is.
That's
First
right.
in was Ohio Metal Maven Nicole, then Gene Diggs History, Adventures with Swifty. How you doing, buddy? Nailed it,
What's going
Detecting
on?
Chad, Clark's Cove Detecting Mary Kay's Treasures. Let's see if I miss Treasure Charger, Patty Disharoom. Oh, Danny Boy just a digging, Torchy on the run. Thank you all for joining tonight. If I missed you, just put it at Jersey Ray Diggs in the chat, and I will see you because it highlights it. And then I can tell you hi. Nobody in Facebook land yet. Dirt Cloud Metal Detecting, how you doing? I got your mail today. That was awesome. I love it. Great finds. How you doing, Mike? I will open your mail next Wednesday, Dirt Cloud. Martin Smith. All right, so like I said, we have Thomas Barnes from Digstock.
Thank you, brother.
So we're not really here to talk about Digstock. If you do have Digstock questions, you can put them in the chat. But we're here, just like before with Matt Jones, um, to learn about the people who run these awesome events. And I'll start with the regular old questions of how long have you been treasure seeking? Because I know you do
Oh,
more than just metal detect.
yeah, I would have to say it started at a young age. Around here, we say when you're about knee high to a grasshopper. So I was walking around with my dad. We'd go out in fields, get local people around the farmers and stuff, get permission, and we go out in the fields and we look for artifacts, arrowheads and a lot of Native American activity in this area where we're at. A lot of it was Tuscarora Indians, um, and which they were brand off of Cherokee, so people who knew about Cherokee. Uh, but yeah, it was just walk around looking in the fields, and learn to identify what was an arrowhead, what was not, and of course you'd always pick up things that you weren't sure of. And I've learned a lot over the years that a lot of things I probably put down were actually tools and stuff. So that's kind of how
Yeah.
it started. That kind of went into looking for shark's teeth things and stuff, little piles of shark's teeth and stuff. And then swinging a metal detector when I was real young. I remember dad having like an old Radio Shack type metal detector, when go out and swing it in the yard, it'd pick up just about everything, it'd go off. So we'd do that. And that just kind of progressed as I got older, like digging in bottle dumps and finding old stuff. I always liked old things. Anytime I come up in an old barn, to find old bottles and stuff. So, all that together just kind of combined into just having that love for finding things. I could even walk in the woods and find old pieces of wood that just had character to it, and so that just kind of transpired into gold, fossils, even gems, anything, pretty much anything you can consider a treasure. That's what I like to find.
Yeah, I think everybody's dish. Hey, Mandy's candy. Everybody's definition of treasures a little bit different, even when we're in the same hobby aspect of treasure hunting, like metal detectors, rock hounds, gold prospectors,
Yeah,
bottle diggers, privy diggers. Even in each of those individual hobbies, we all have different things that are treasures to
exactly.
us. And all of us like silver coins. Okay, we all do. They sound beautiful. What's up, Shane? Ohio River history. But then our definition of treasure, what makes us happy is a little bit different for each of us. Like I love relics. I especially love buttons because they're
Right.
personal. So those are little treasures for me. So and everybody's gonna have a different thing that's treasure to them.
Hmm.
Like Nicole, Ohio Metal Maven, she's a rock hound. She loves rocks.
Oh, yeah.
And me, I'm just like, yeah, I kick them along while I'm walking. So everybody's treasure is even in the same hobby is different. We all do like similar things. Like I said, silver coins. We all would love to find a gold coin. Anytime kingery, but in the end, like our favorites, our little treasures are all going to be different, and that's what makes this hobby
Yeah,
really
I
cool.
mean, I was just
You know?
recently out of state, and I just happened to come up on a piece of broken glass. It was just the bottom of a bottle, but I sit there and I look at it, and it was a nice green color to it, and I see something different in it than other people do. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I see an arrowhead out of that, so of course I had to get it and bring it back.
One of the things I talk about occasionally, especially when people start talking about wildlife that's around us
Hmm.
and things that could hurt you. And my county, we don't have too much that's really going to hurt you. I mean, north and south of me there are, um, but there's no rattlers here. There's no water moccasins, copperheads. There's no. I mean, there's the bugs.
Oh yeah, I don't think
Osprey.
you ever escape them.
But then I go like when we were out in Texas together and we were looking for arrowheads. I'm just traipsing around there like there's nothing out there that's gonna bite me,
Right.
and I'm not even thinking about it, at the time. But hey, Jim Seal. Yeah, but I definitely it was not the first thing on my mind while we were out there, and I gotta remind myself that I'm not here in Monmouth County, New
Mm,
Jersey, where pretty much not much out there is gonna hurt me. Maybe a rabid raccoon, but mm, a bear that apparently was not too far from me. But outside of that, there's really not. I don't have to worry about underneath rocks a poisonous snake pretty much in my
right.
county.
Yeah.
And we were all over those rock
Oh yeah.
beds.
Yeah. We won't. Oh
Stick
yeah.
our
We were
hands in
focused on
holes.
finding stuff. That was it.
Yeah. So I do talk about that sometimes. Lauren O'Reilly, how are you? She's fixing dinner, but watching and listening. Awesome. Um, so when you do detect, what do you swing?
Well, I've swung a lot of different ones. Right now, I'm swinging the ORX, the X-Speed ORX. I like that. I've dabbled around with the DS2 some. I'm probably looking at going to that one. It's just I've got so comfortable with my ORX right now that it's kind of like I say with people hunting and you're shooting your favorite gun. That's just the one you tend to go to.
Right.
I've used the Amphibio, the Garrett AT Max. Um, the Technetics, the T2 Technetics. Like I said, but right now the ORX, that's probably my favorite right now. It's just I just like the response from it and got pretty comfortable with it.
Yeah, I think the ones that we really learn well, like it's our right hand, are the ones that tend to be our favorites. Like I like a lot of the machines I've tried out and the ones I have, and my go-to is probably always going to be the AT Pro
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
I just know, like, I don't know if there's much more I can learn about that machine.
Right. Yeah. And it's
Hey, Johnson Family Ventures,
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, I've been out with people, that's been swinging the same detector for years, and it's just that's the same thing. That's what they're comfortable with. That's what they go to. They know how to listen to it. They know what they're listening for. And so that's what they use. Us, we are fortunate that we get to use and try a lot of different detectors, so that way we can talk to people about them. But for as personal stuff, I tend to like the Deus stuff and the XP stuff.
Yeah, I tried Matt's Deus.
Hmm.
That was like swinging air,
Oh, it's so light. I mean, especially.
and I actually, yeah, I like the sound of the tones too. Like that's why Apex is a good
Hmm.
little machine. Um, but the sound of the tone is what I don't care for.
Right.
So it is a good machine though, but it's just the sound of the tones. I don't like it so
Yeah,
much.
that's like we've had some Manicores come in and we've been shipping them out like crazy, and that's been one that we kind of wanted to try for ourselves just to kind of see more about it. But we every time we get one in, we ship it right out, so we ain't really had time to mess with them. You got the Knox 900s come out. That's been a big popular one that a lot of people are getting, hearing a lot of good stuff out of that. So there's always more coming out that we like to try and use and see how they, just see what the results are from them.
Yeah, I Drew Wahalik brought the Manicore to one of our, I think the last club
Mm-hmm.
meeting, and I picked it up, looked at it, and stuff like that. And it's not like we could turn it on in the building, but it seems like a nice machine. I mean, it's definitely lighter than the
Oh
Knox,
yeah, definitely.
and it's definitely way lighter than the
Yeah,
3030.
but they've changed a lot of stuff on them as far as I think it was the grip and as far as the shaft. They got that carbon fiber, so they kind of redone all of them as far as what was versus like the 800, I think, and the 600. So a lot of people
Yeah,
are just going to that 900 now, as far as that goes. So
I looked at the specs,
hmm
um, and I'm happy with the 800. I'll just stick with that. I mean, if I'm gonna upgrade, it probably would be to the Manicore, but that would be because of the 0 to 100 VDI.
right,
Because I still don't have a clue on the VDI with the Knox. So I'm kind of, I mean, I know what pull types coming at because I find a lot of them.
yeah,
um, but outside of that, I don't really know the numbers on the VDI as much as I do on the AT Pro with the 0 to 100 because I use that for much longer. And so with the Knox, I'm mostly tone. I'm mostly just going by the tones.
right,
Except for the mid tones, I will look at the VDI because, like I said, I do know what shotgun shells and pull tabs come in at, and I'll still dig them because buttons come in there too. So
oh yeah,
I don't notch them out.
yeah, and I don't get
If I notch out a 16, I probably look for a dandy or something.
right, and I don't get, I know a lot of people get really technical on their machines, and that's kind of one of the things with the Deus too is that you can go in and just customize and get real technical with it. And I guess that's probably why I do like the ORX because I can just pretty much go in, hit what I want to put on and go. It's quick, kind of like
Yeah,
a lot of people fell in love with the Simplex because it's just they hit a programmed and just go. And so for me, and doing so many other hobbies that I like to do and things, so I just like to get on out there and start doing it and find what I can.
yeah. Mike said you did great with the 800 in the stream he took me to.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't. Well, you already know because you were with me in that little shallow river out there in Texas. So I don't go in the water. But I drove
right.
out to Maryland and hunted with great fun. Hey, Lisa. And I went in the creek there. Well, it's not a creek. It's like a shallow
Yeah,
river there. It's a big
yeah.
stream. And yeah, we had a good time. Yeah, it was everybody. I don't know with the Knox and the flooding issues. I didn't have that issue with the 600 or my 800. And both of them have been submerged.
hmm
Um, so I think it's like a manufacturing defect that affected some and not all.
Yeah, each one I've noticed that too with different detectors now. As far as ones that I can sit here and I can say that I've put through the ringers. Now I will say some of the Nokia stuff I put through the ringers, and that Amphibio I've dove with it and had it
Yeah.
underwater and just left it underwater, dragging beside me. And never had an issue with it. Now my AT Max, I've had one issue with it flooding, getting water in the coil and the head unit. And I had to send it in.
Mm.
They're good about sending it right back. And getting everything fixed. But I have had
Yeah.
certain ones that have issues. But no, that's the only one I can. That's the only one I personally can say that I've kind of really put through the ringer was that one because I just kind of threw it in the kayak, would take it with me, and just I left it sit there in the water the whole time. Never had an issue with it.
Yeah, I didn't rough mine up. My AT Pro has been submerged too.
Right.
And no issues with that one either. But I also made sure I have the little cap here. I also made sure that I didn't my little cap over the speaker hole was really tight.
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, I had that. I probably had that in water before I've had either one of the Noxes I had. Like I said, I was never that deep in the water anyway, but they have been submerged.
Right.
And so yeah, with Mike, yeah, I mean the streams I go to here in New Jersey are pretty shallow and pretty small. They're not very far across where I go shark tooth hunting.
Yep.
So that's the only time I actually had my machines in the water was in those streams. So when I say I don't go in water, I don't go in big water.
Right.
And the one I went to with Mike was pretty wide, probably in some spots maybe 30, 40 feet across almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. I got the silver World War II pin from Bell Telephone, the victory pin, and Mike
Oh,
had found it like a week before.
right.
But hey, DB, I don't want to talk about everything I find. We're talking to you.
Hey, it's all about
But
finding.
yeah, but yeah, I had all three of them submerged. I never had any problems. I didn't. Well, while I had the simplex, I never actually took it in the water. So Patty Disher is going to have to take that out to the water.
Right.
Uh, Ohio Metal Movement said, I love walking in rivers and I don't take my Apex. I'm afraid to drop it. Garrett needs to make a lightweight submersible machine. Trust me, I think Garrett's gonna come out with they've got to come out with something in the AT or above series. I know they came out with the Axiom, but that's not in everybody's budget. They need to come out with something in the AT series. They have to answer to Nokta's machines
Yeah.
that have been coming out in people's budgets that are, really good machines, a lot of bang for your buck. They have to answer to that. They have to answer to Mind Lab's recent outings,
Yep.
upgrading the two Noxes to 700 and 900, adding a little few more features, and coming out with the Manicore. So they've got to they'll be coming out with something.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I've seen just in the last couple of years, technology wise, is just really exploding. And there's a lot of competition, between all the different manufacturers. So, yeah, I think that pushes each other. I mean, comes out with better and better stuff, which is good for us.
Yeah, it is. That's what I mean. They got to. I mean, I know that they still sell the AT series. It's still their biggest
Yep.
sellers. But they've definitely got to answer to what's being put out there right now for regular Joe out there. And they got to answer to that. The Simplex definitely put a dent in the competition. That's a good little machine and it's a lot of machine for $300.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, David Alfacetti. Hey, cuz. I'm looking to see if there's anything here. Yeah, you're right, Nicole. Garrett has to. They'll start losing people. Trust me, they are. They are. I mean, they did come out with the Apex, but that was what 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
My opinion, and I'm a nobody. I think the Apex was a test in the A series to see what kind of sales it would generate, to see if it would be worth it to put it into the AT series.
Mm,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. I think a lot of them they'll do that, test certain things out, and then kind of upgrade from there. The
Right.
Simplex kind of come out, and then you had the Legend that came out after that. So.
Right. So
Mhm.
the Apex is the Ace Apex.
Mhm.
So it's the apex of the Ace series. Oh, thanks, Ed. You rock, dude. Flash in your pan, flash in your pan. He said I'm a somebody. But I do think the Apex was definitely just they wanted to upgrade the Ace series, but it was a tester to see what the market would be like for an eight if there's going to be a market for that type of machine in the AT series.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to invest a lot of money in something and it's going to flatline.
Oh yeah.
So, because they'll come out with technology, they got to pay those brainiacs.
Yeah.
They got to pay somebody.
Exactly.
So, they got to see if it's going to be a profit generator. Let's see. Oh yeah, Ray's fines. That's Raymond Jones. Do you remember
Oh
Ray?
yeah. Yeah. I remember Raymond. What's going on, Raymond?
Uh, he needed a PI machine, so he picked up the Garrett Axiom for his hunts in Virginia because
Virginia.
it's
Yeah.
so mineralized. Nicole, I guess you were talking about the Apex over the Vanquish. So I did do a comparison with the Apex when it first came out, and I'll tell you what, that little machine picked a dime on edge, and the AT Pro and the Nox did not.
Hmm.
A silver dime.
I know.
Completely
I
straight.
know. I know when we were up in and I think it was up and around when we were in Peru there the last or toward the end we left or not a bit might have been Chazy when we got ready to leave there that time everybody was pretty much done and me and Matt we were I think that's kind of where we just got our hands on that Apex and Matt was
Yeah.
using it found I was messing around where I said what'd you do find some silver and sure enough he found like a silver cuff link or something over there or a silver button or something and I was like yeah there of course I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. You excited for a couple weeks? Biggest group
Oh,
you guys got
definitely,
coming?
definitely. We're looking forward to it. Just getting to see everybody, and all the ones that's supporting us and been coming out, the same people. You get used to seeing a lot of the same people, but we also got a lot of new people, and that's good because they're getting introduced to something different, and seeing how,
Yeah.
we try to put a good light on this hobby and what we're doing and make it fun for everybody and give everybody an opportunity to maybe find something that they normally wouldn't find.
Yeah, it's like um it is a good experience. Uh Lauren O'Reilly said her Apex could picked up an Indian head penny out of the same hole with a nail in it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good machine. It is. It's just the tones. It just they bothered my ears. So that
Yeah.
was my only issue with the Apex. Honestly, I didn't like the sound of the tones. I've never had my AT Pro on standard because that's the Ace tones,
Hmm.
and the Pro tones are a little, a little smoother. Yeah, I do often say when I'm in a stream or on my stream here, I've said many times to people, especially when they've never been to an event this large as well, that it's just like when you get a permission, and it's your brand new permission, you've never hunted it, you're not guaranteed to find anything.
Right.
Or you've hit a spot a couple times, you found some good things, and you bring somebody there, you hope they find
Right.
something. They may only find one thing, but there's no guarantee. It's a lot of other things go into you finding treasures than just swinging your machine. It's knowledge of your machine, knowledge of the ground you're on. Sometimes it's just luck of the swing. How you swing is really
Yes.
important.
Yes.
Um, I mean, if you just do like me and wander aimlessly all over the place so you can talk to everybody, you ain't gonna find squat. I
Yeah.
don't, and that's what I do every time I go to Digstock. Well, the last couple times I didn't hunt on Digstock. I didn't go to the last one. I was gonna come up Sunday. Remember?
Right. And
Yeah,
it's like fossil hunting. I took a few people out here and there in private places I have, and it's like finding a Meg. I can remember the first time taking Matt out. I said, I'm gonna take you to a place where I found Megs, and there's a good possibility of finding one, but I can't guarantee you gonna find one. And sure enough, he found one that day, and then he also found one of the big sperm whale vertebrae that we find. It's like, I mean, big as huge doorstop. And but it's not something that don't always happen all the time. But there again, it's just like everything
yeah.
else we're doing. We're trying to put you in the best position and give you the best opportunity to find something. But there again, a lot of it comes down to you doing your due diligence, getting in there, doing the research, finding it, putting your feet on the ground, and just sticking to it. And I've seen a lot of times I've seen it at every event pays off. People out there really, even on the
Well,
last day.
you want to really find stuff? Watch how Riley Bryant hunts.
Oh yeah, you don't
That
see them
kid,
until the end.
we all preach low and slow, but he literally is low, slow, and methodical.
Yeah.
Hey, that scoop. But I also tell people all the time when you go to events like this, probably 75% is the social aspect.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
and that's
definitely
people making new friends and getting to meet other
right.
people in the hobbies, and there's even people to come out. They'll be from the same state or close to the same area that they didn't even know, and they wind up meeting each other, and then they can go back home and get up with each other, and you got a good hunting partner.
Yeah, that's why I go because it's I go for the social aspect for seeing people that I haven't seen in a while or never met before.
Yep.
Um, it's just fun. I go there. It's like a big party with a bunch of electronic sticks that go beep beep.
Yeah, and and everybody gets, like I said, everybody gets to. I mean, if you think about it, you do learn a lot because you get to, get with other people who may be more experienced, so you get to learn
Right.
things, pick up tips. Get to see what, maybe even get to use somebody else's detector and kind of see what they're swinging and how their stuff is working. So
Exactly. And yeah, or just watching other people. Everybody's style is different.
yeah,
And
I've seen a lot of it. I get to see people out there, especially on some of the seeded hunt stuff, and watch people swinging and see how they're swinging. And that kind of brings up the issue with us is we're always looking at trying to improve. So, like, well, hey, maybe we'll have a little class, for introduction for people getting started or something. Maybe that's something that we can offer in the future just to kind of give a few tips to help increase their chances of finding something.
now I can give tips on seated. It's over in 5 minutes. You don't want to spend too long on a target. If you can't find it in 30 seconds, just move on.
Yep.
Because if you spend more than a minute and a half trying to find that little beep beep, you just missed out on probably 20 others.
Oh yeah, people
Um,
picking up other ones left and right.
yep, and they're fast. And you got you got basically three types of people in a seated hunt. You got the 40-mile-an-hour mad swinger that zips around and don't pay attention to nobody around them. You got the really slow, methodical one, which in a seated hunt, you don't want to do that. And then you got the middle of the road guy that just swings, picks, swings, picks, swings, pick.
Yep.
You find whatever groove you like, but yeah, don't spend a whole lot of time on one signal. If you don't find it in 30 seconds, just go ahead and move on.
Yeah.
Because
And
you'll
I've
be
been in and I've been in some, I've been in one that I sit right there and watch people right in front of me walk right past the signal, and I'm picking up
oh
right
yeah.
behind them.
That's because it's probably one of the mad swingers, right? One of the ones that's
Some of them were, some of them won't. It's just, I
they
think some of it,
take off
I
like
think,
90 miles an hour.
yeah, I think some of it's just, probably even maybe just their detector. Maybe they're still not, familiar with that detector and
Yeah.
those sounds or something.
Yeah, because your detector, well, the concentric coil is a cone and the double D coil is a wedge.
Mm-hmm.
So at least with the double D, you've got, however long your coil is, a wedge. But yeah, you don't want to go 90 miles an hour because you will miss a lot, and I'll find them, and Thomas will find them. Kind of just stay in one spot for a little while, get them all. And the other key thing is when you're out in the field and you're with your little group or you met some people and you all spread out in the field together and you find something really cool, don't yell and scream about it right away
Oh yeah, bring them all over.
because people from about a mile away will be converging on you.
Oh yeah, they're coming right on you. It's like fishing in the ocean.
and
People start seeing you catching fish, and next thing you know, they're all boats around all
yep,
around you.
and nobody got no qualms about bottom fishing. So you go ahead and find, go around your area a little bit, about 10-foot radius, then go ahead and get excited.
Yeah.
But go ahead and search your area first because they will come. They
Oh
will
yeah.
come. They
Or
will
just
run.
wait to the or just find what you can and wait to the end, and then just go there and just throw them down and say, "Bam! Check it all this out."
Yeah. Or put it on the display table.
Yeah, that's right.
And everybody gets to see it. But you definitely don't want to alert somebody that you just found, a big silver dollar or whatever. Especially don't say you found a gold coin. Let that wait till the
Oh
end.
God. Yeah.
Because
Gold.
they're
That
not
makes
all
everybody want to
down.
come.
So if you find a gold coin here in North Carolina, just keep it to yourself because they will come.
Oh yeah.
I've seen it.
Yep.
And some have experienced it. Let's see if we have any questions. I keep talking and not looking at the chat.
I mean,
Let's see.
folks got on 51.
We got about like 30 tonight.
I got you.
It's almost 8, so there'll be some
Yeah.
coming from another stream at 8. They're talking about wet ground. Yeah. If the ground is, we behaved. That's what Next Scoop said. We behaved. If the ground is oversaturated, it's just as bad as dry ground.
Yeah. And that's one good thing about some of the places where we had them here. We got the soil that's sandy. You got kind of that sandy soil, and it just kind of really preserves the relics and stuff. And they'll have that kind of that greenish patina on them and stuff. So, that's always a good plus too. And it's easy digging. It's not like digging through a whole bunch of rocks.
No, I mean where I'm at, we got pretty good soil. People have actually commented it in the videos. There are spots where it's a little harder, a little clay, because New Jersey's got a lot of clay.
Yeah.
But where I'm at, it's pretty good. I'm closer to the water, so it's a little more sandy here.
Right.
But yeah, when I was down there last year for the North Carolina, when I came down to visit, and Ray Jones and Ken and Jeff, Gypsy, Zola, they all had that old man up the road that gave them permission on the farm. So I
Right.
actually got to detect. That was cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
the dirt was really good. The dirt was really nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, this one's not that far from there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, it's probably, I don't know. It could be around 30, 45 minutes. But everything's all pretty much like I said, we get I get emails almost every day, people saying, where should I stay? Or I'm flying in. And, I just have to send an email back and refer everybody right back to the link, to the website. It's like, here, we have already kind of done that work for you. So whatever's here is going to be pretty close to where everything's going on.
Yeah, that area is going to be real excited with all these people there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a
It's
lot of
going
money
to,
coming to
yeah.
buy food.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Especially when we're around local and stuff. Like bringing stuff for the community, help the community out. Local stuff. So,
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it is a little bit. Hey, Marky Mark, it is a little boost to the area there.
mhm.
But let's ask some get to know you questions now that we're getting a few more people
All
in.
right.
How many things have you crossed off your bucket list?
Oh God. Um, I'll be honest with you, probably not a whole lot because like I said, I have so many different hobbies that I like to do. So there's certain things that I've done, but there again, I can't say I've stuck with one thing so hardcore that I've been able to like just knock things off of that list. I'd say finding some gold nuggets up in Alaska, up in Nome, off of White
Yeah,
Earth Gold Claim. That was probably one of my best. I mean, that's like one of my favorite things, just because of the history, and I always like Western history and of course White Earth and stuff like that. I have found a silver Spanish real, so that was a pretty good one. I didn't even realize what I'd found because it was kind of earlier back. I thought it was a knockout plug out of an electrical socket. And Matt happened to be with me. He comes over to look. He's like, "Are you kidding me? You know what this is?" But it was folded over in half. And we were able to kind of wind up getting it back out and everything, and it was pretty cool. Um, yeah, I see somebody's trophy on the wall behind me. Yeah, that's one of the deer. We don't mess with them as much as we used to. It just all depends. They got to be something. You got to wait till they get bigger and bigger before you mount anything. Um, So, I mean, I've had different things, and some things may be kind of petty to some people. Um, I'll give you one example. I was way up in Alaska, and I had the opportunity. I think the temperature outside was like 34, 32, and had the opportunity to get into a natural hot spring. And I was like, heck yeah, I'm not passing this up. And the water coming out of there was like 120, 130, degrees. And so we're sitting here in this hot spring, and I was like, man, it's 32 degrees outside. I'm in Alaska. I can look back, see the mountain range, and I'm in a natural hot spring. To me, that was just awesome. That was, I said that's a bucket list thing.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, I mean, I've had a few things here and there. I found, shark's teeth that have been nice, but I still got a lot of different things I like to still find and do. One of my big ones, and Matt's kind of messing with me all the time because he's been right there, and we've had other people come out, is a cannonball. I cannot find a freaking cannonball to save my life, but they're around, and other people finding them, but not me.
I'm not sure if I'll find one because I don't know what they come up as. If they come up as iron, I probably won't be finding one.
Right? Yeah. Believe it or not, a lot of my detecting it started out as gold, finding gold and stuff. So when I got into more of relics, and of course I would find some when I was looking gold, but as far as like buckling down and trying to find like colonial stuff and Civil War stuff, I really haven't done a whole lot. So I'm still kind of new into it. I found flat buttons. I did find one. I think it was a script I button. I was up in New York. Um, and that's really it. I haven't even found like a eagle button or any of that kind of stuff like that yet. Found a few bullets, here and there, but not a whole lot. But there again, we stay busy trying to find stuff for everybody to get on. So a lot of times we don't even get to detect as much as we like to. And depending on the time of the year and the season, and that depends on what's going on. When it gets hot, then I'm in the water, and most time when in the water, we're diving. We're diving or doing fossils or detecting under the water or whatever. Um, So yeah, just each season is like has something different to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I went in a lot of water this year because of how hot the summer was. I mean, we didn't have rain for like 8 weeks,
Mm,
so yeah, I drove up to Maryland twice for just one day.
right.
And it was worth the drive because it was an 8 hour drive. Both areas I went to was about an 8 hour drive. But it was worth it. I had a good time.
Yeah.
And let's see. Which celebrity do you wish you could be friends with?
Oh man. Let's see. Um, it seems like somebody was. We were talking about that not long ago. There's certain people that I've seen on TV, and I just like they just got a pretty cool demeanor, and I would
Yeah.
just like to kind of like hang out with them. I would say one on probably kind of old school. I'll tell you one on probably been like Clint Eastwood. I thought he's
Yeah.
always just been cool to where he carries himself. Um, and I even think somebody like maybe like even Kevin Costner or somebody like that be kind of cool to meet, and stuff like that. I don't get really starstruck, but there's certain people that I'm just like, it'd be kind of cool to maybe hang out with them, and stuff.
Yeah. It is hard to like. I'd like to think I'm pretty level headed, but I'm sure there's probably some celebrities that I would be like, I don't know what to say.
Right.
And just remind yourself that they do all the things we do.
Oh, exactly. I've always looked at everybody, they get up and they put on pants every day just like I do. So,
There you
well,
go.
somebody, if I put on a dress, skirt, something.
Can you read that?
Yeah, Ohio Middle, Kenny
Ohio
White
Middle
on
Navy,
TV.
Cole.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to check you out then.
Yeah, she's good. She's good peeps. Team Lynch Beach Metal Detectors, BMD. Hello. Uh, what is the one quality about yourself you're most proud of?
Um, I would have to say, as far as I like giving. That was something my mother was big into was doing a lot of giving. She was a giving person, and I'd say, especially as I got older, I've picked up more on that. I like to see other people finding things, or if I have an opportunity to be able to do something for somebody else, I like that. I like to be able to see that you can make somebody else happy, or you don't never know what somebody else is going through, and you can happen to do something for them that just would have made their day. So I'd say that. And I like to be and being honest, just being straight up with people. That's kind of it can have its downfall sometimes because you're honest about it. You're not hiding or candy coating anything, and that just goes back to us being trying to be transparent about everything that goes on and with us and how we run our company and stuff. So just being transparent, putting it out there. If we make a mistake, we tell you.
Yeah, you guys are good, I gotta say. No complaints. Uh, what's something that always makes you smile?
A good joke. Somebody, well, it's I'm fortunate enough I get to get around a lot of people that have some really good ones. So you get to laugh. And that's a good one to me. Is always laughter. Being able to laugh, and there again, that's all part of memories and making memories. And stuff like that. So,
Uh, what's the weirdest fact you ever heard?
oh, let's see, the weirdest fact. Mm, that's a tough one. I'm trying to think right offhand.
Things like you can't lick your elbow.
Yeah, I don't even know if I would even try to do that. I don't know. I've heard some different things, but I'm trying to think of something that really stood out. I mean, I know some facts, but as far as being the weirdest fact, um, I can tell you something I learned here recently that I wouldn't say it's weird. I mean, it makes sense after you see it, but I guess you just don't look at it. Is I was out in California, and of course you see how the mountain ranges and stuff come in, and you can sit there and you can look and see through the valleys and stuff, and it's pretty much just like you got to think back about thousands of years, millions of years ago, or whatever, and when the water come through and it's flood, how some of those mountains come and they kind of curve. They got like a little, they turn and stuff come out. And so I was told that was because of the water rushing in and hitting in a certain spot and just turning, but it still left that mountain range and that imprint there like it was. So that was thinking of that, stuff, and then relaying it to like how you see a little creek or stream. It makes sense. It's just on a way larger scale. So that was pretty different. I'm gonna say it was weird, but it makes sense. It's weird to start with, and you think about it, or you hear about it, but then once you think of it on a larger scale, it's like, oh, well, that makes sense, just on a bigger scale.
Yep, that's a weird fact. Let's see. Ohio Metal Maven said, "That's awesome." I put that question. I put a question in one of my videos one day. So that's her answer.
Barbed wire was made in the 1800s. We were fighting with, okay. I know it's
Yeah,
been around for a while.
I looked it up once, so I put it in my video recently. A little filler when you don't have a lot of stuff. And I said, "Here's something for you to Google right now and put in the comments. When was
You know,
barbed wire invented, or horse wire, cow wire, cattle wire?"
yeah, it seems like I think maybe when I was in Alaska or around Nome, somebody told me that if you found red glass on the beach, so some of that red glass actually had traces of gold in it that it was part of whatever they used to make it. I don't know. That was just something I remember hearing.
Yeah.
Oh, I can give you a good one, I guess, now since we're talking about that. Is that a mammoth? I mean, not a mammoth, a muskox. When I was in Nome, there was muskox that walked around, and they would get in through some of like the brush, and their fur stuff would come off and get hung up, just like clumps, like almost like you think of clumps of dog hair. And I was told that it was supposedly one of the most natural, warmest things, like off an animal. In fact, you could go up and get a handful of it and hold it in your hand, and your hand would just get hot, start sweating. So of course, here I am, country guy from Eastern North Carolina. I'm like, yeah, right. So I was like, pull the truck there. I got to get out and try it. So I went out there and I'm pulling it off and stuff. And sure enough, I had a big ball of it in my hand. And by the time I got back and got back in the truck, my hand was so warm, I couldn't believe it. And so the natives that are there, that's how they make money. They would go and collect that up, and then they spin it into like a yarn, and they make, beanies and gloves and stuff out and sell it. And from what I was told, it's like extremely expensive. Just like a couple ounces of this hair and this fur or whatever is like extremely expensive.
I bet it is. I'm watching the chat too. LL likes that. That's cool. If someone offered you the chance to go to outer space, like if Elon Musk came to you and said, "I have an extra seat on my spaceship," would you go?
I probably would now. At the age at where I'm at now in life, I probably would, because I just think there's a lot of opportunities that we get, that we pass up because of either fears or not being comfortable with it or things like that. So, you know, I would probably have a lot of questions. I'd want to make sure, that his track record's pretty good as far as what he's been sending up already. But besides that, I mean, yeah, if I had the opportunity, yeah, I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would be scared to death, but I think I would definitely probably do it.
Well, like I said, there again, is our fears prevent us from doing a lot of things in life. And once you get past some of that stuff, I can go back and remember first time I flew on a plane. I went for years and never did it, and then I had an opportunity to go somewhere, and I was like, I hate to pass this chance up, and so you know, I did it. And after I did, I was like, you know what, there was nothing to it. So
Yeah, I don't know. Still, I don't know. I'm not much of it. I mean, I don't like taking off and landing. Once we're up in the air, I'm good.
Right.
You know, take the seatbelt off, I'm fine. It's the taking off and landing. This the landing is because it kills my right ear so bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know, because I like to read stupid things and remember them. That most plane accidents are on takeoff and landing.
Right.
Actually, almost all of them. It's very rare that the plane just drops out of the sky. So it's
Right.
mostly taking off and landing.
Mm.
Um, so of course, takeoff and landing is my high anxiety moments. I white knuckle it the whole way. Fought a little kid for the armrest once. It's like, nah, kid, you grab onto your mother or somebody else. This armrest is mine. I need to grip it.
You're like B.A. Baracus. I don't know for any of the older ones out there. Remember the A team?
Oh yeah, the A team. Yeah,
I ain't gonna get on that plane, fool. He had to give him something.
I wish they could give me something just for the takeoff and landing. Do you believe in ghosts?
um, I can't say that I've ever seen one. I'm not gonna say I don't believe in them because there's a lot of things to me that's unexplained. But I've never seen one. I am that person that if you told me there's a haunted house, in fact, I tried to get me and Matt were going to do it one time. There was supposedly like an old plantation, and it was supposedly haunted and whatever. And I was like, "Sign me up. Let's go stay in it overnight." And it just wound up not working out. But yeah, I would go to do it just to see it for myself. I kind of look at things a lot different maybe than some other people do. So, I look at the trees, you see the trees moving back and forth, and we know it's called the wind and the wind's doing it, but I've never seen the wind, but I know it exists.
Right. Well, that's
So,
what I say to people too. Do you believe $1 million exists?
right. Yeah,
But have you ever seen $1 million?
exactly. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess in the scope of it, I would never rule it out and say that they do because I mean, other people have said that they've seen them and and had
Yeah.
experiences and stuff like that. So, I guess I'd say yeah,
Well, science hasn't proven they don't exist. So,
exactly.
see, we just got a raid. Who's your stacker? John Jacobs, Coil Cowboy. Three people. Well, I know who's your stacker. Cool, Coil Cowboy and John Jacobs. Nice to meet you all. Starika. See, we had a few come in from Nick Molnar. Chad said come to their property. Plus, they live near a cemetery.
I would do it. Yeah, it wouldn't bother me. I mean, not many things scare me, so yeah, I'd be down for
Hey, BH Ringer, Nick Molnar, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for bringing everybody with you tonight.
it. Yeah.
Appreciate the raid. Believe it or not, that's my first raid. I'm usually in a time spot where I don't get many raids.
Mm,
This is the one place you want raids.
gotcha.
YouTube live stream. Oh, we got a question from the Peanut Gallery. Favorite food, Thomas?
Oh man. Um, let's see. Favorite food. Well, it depends on
Uh,
I guess if it's in a category or not. I love Italian food. Um, but it's something that I probably would never turn down if I ever have the opportunity to eat it. Would be a moose steak. I've
hmm,
had a lot of moose when I was in Alaska, and if I have the opportunity to eat it, I'm going to eat it. Now I like steak. I like my meat, but yeah. So besides that, Italian food. I love spaghetti, lasagna, anything that's true Italian. I love it.
let's see. We have Nick Molnar, Ghost, been there, done that. We got ghost talkers here.
Yeah.
I'd seen a dark image that resembles the old farmer Nicole had a couple dreams about looking out in our front window. Ooh, a little creepy. That's a practical Ken. Hello. I saw another name here. I haven't met yet. Where did it go? Where did you go? Kinomine. Oh, I like that name. Kinomine. Very
Hmm.
cool. You guys could put questions in the chat if you want. I don't have to
Yeah.
hog it all.
Yeah. Ask me some stuff.
Nick Molnar said, I've seen stuff that is crazy.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I just got back from California. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff.
I
Not
remember,
saying all California is crazy, but for me, it's different. I mean, I've never seen so many Teslas in my life. And I actually went by like the Tesla. I would say it was a headquarters, but it was like the whole place there. And I was like, and all these charging stations, you just don't see that where I'm from. So to me, it's like that's crazy.
yeah, that was a little crazy. Um, yeah, when I was younger, um, my house, I believe, was haunted. I didn't find out till probably not even that long ago that the man who originally owned the house my grandparents bought and then my dad inherited and we lived in and stuff. Um, he built all 9 houses on the street. It was a dead end street. And I didn't find out till maybe 10 years ago that he actually died on the front porch.
Oh wow.
I remember some things like the bathroom door was not um, crooked or anything, or it was square, you know, and it would the knob would turn and it would open. And I could
Man.
see we had this living room mirror that kind of looked down the hallway, and I could see the door, bathroom door open. Another time, I was laying in the living room watching TV, and I guess I dozed or I was just about dozing. I think I was still awake, and I felt something like pressure on my arm and hot breath in my ear growling at me. We didn't
Mm.
have I heard my name called many times when there was no one home, like fully audible. Um, so I thought maybe it was the old guy that, the guy that had built all the homes. And my dad had told me that my grandmother, hey Tracy, finding goodies too. Um, when she was younger, her best friend had died. And as he grew up, his grandmother was always talking to somebody. And it wasn't like, if you're just talking to the air, there's your sentences don't sound like a conversation. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
He said her way she would talk, it was as if somebody else was talking to her. It was like
Mm.
a conversation. Oh, I just inhaled dust. Oh, a little better. Oh, I don't know. It's like a big thing just went right in my throat. No dirty minds in the chat. Yeah. So he told me that when they moved to the house in Middletown, it's like she took her friend with her, the spirit.
Huh. That's
So
interesting.
when my grandmother died, she had nowhere to go. She's still there. People see her on the street,
Wow.
or they've told me.
Right. Mm.
Hey, Tim Steele, I don't know if I said hi to you. Yeah. Ooh. But yeah. So I remember meeting the guys from. There's a book series called Weird New Jersey. They also did Weird USA and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
think they're trying to expand. I think they have Weird Pennsylvania now. Their names are Mark and Mark. Yeah, Andy, it's not the pop. It's I inhaled something, and they were doing a book signing about 15 years ago, and I ran into a girl grew up next door to there, and she's in line. She's like, "Yeah, I want to tell them all about our street and the ghost lady that walks on it." And I was like, "Don't tell them that because like people read these little quarterly magazines." And they go to these spots. I'm like, this is a 9 house or 8, 4 on each side
Right.
and street. You don't want people flocking to it. It's not a
Oh
big, but I
yeah.
didn't know other people had seen her. I just know that my house was definitely haunted. It was like
Wow.
Killer Shark of New Jersey. Um, Unexplained with William Shatner. Season 4 is on Hulu now. Killer Shark of Jersey. I
Huh.
don't know if he's talking about the 1912 Mattawan Creek, um, where it's the first recorded shark attack.
Oh
Which,
yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, it was like two little boys were killed or something.
Yeah, yeah, they like went way up in the river, the creek, or something. Other went way up in there or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
remember about that.
at the time they thought it was a great white. Years
Yeah.
later, they thought it might have been a tiger shark because tiger sharks like brackish water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Lost Boys is streaming tomorrow, Andy, Thursday. Usually stream Sunday, but anyway, yeah, go check out Lost Boys tomorrow night. I don't know what I inhaled, but nailed it. Detective said, "I get why you don't get in the water much, Rachel." But yeah, that was the first recorded shark attack in America's history. It was the inspiration for the movie Jaws, and
Mm.
Jaws, the movie, is actually why I don't get in the water.
Ah,
Um, so yeah, they thought it was a tiger shark because tiger sharks like brackish water. You'll find them more often. They're actually the ones that attack people to eat them out of all the sharks. Great
yep.
whites attack people, but they're not really attacking them. They're just checking to see if you're edible. Unfortunately, when they check to see if you're edible, generally they kill you.
Yeah. Well, that's like bull sharks. We get, there's bull sharks around here where we're at, and they same thing. They'll get into brackish water, and they'll tend, they can tend to bite you and stuff like that too. So
Oh, they do attack you. And the
yeah,
thing about bull sharks is the older and bigger they are, the farther upstream they're going to go to where they're living completely in fresh water.
yep.
Yes, when you have a phobia, you learn all about them. Let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. Just for tomorrow night. So yeah, Lost Boys recovery. Have you met Thomas, Andy? I don't know. Um, he said, if you have you hit the thumbs up, don't. Let's see what other good things for. Uh, are there any totally wacky food combos you love that most people would think are weird?
um, well, I don't. I mean, some stuff. Yeah, I've had people say. I mean, I'm used to growing up. We eat what we call a tomato sandwich. It's just a thick. You get a good, real nice, beefy, thick tomato that's really juicy, and cut it up in slices. Put it on a piece of just regular white bread, a little salt and pepper, put some mayonnaise on it, and just eat it just like that. But some people say, man, that's crazy. That's weird. I don't know. Um, I eat, if anybody's familiar, I eat a lot of country foods and I grew up on a lot of country stuff. So, I mean, and that's not for me to eat potted meat and some crackers, To me, that's the food of champions back home. That'll keep you going all day in the field.
Yeah, I was never a potted meat fan. I like Vienna sausages.
Oh, yeah.
My mother liked devil ham or whatever, the
Yeah.
canned ham. I never liked that either, but she liked it. I have to try potted meat once. I never did. Um, so is that what you take for snacks when you're out in the field? Potted meat?
Oh yeah, if we go out kayaking or something like that, you're out doing that. I'll take that. And of course, being the sausages, you got your beanie weenies, any of that kind of stuff like that. I mean, I'll eat. I have had some people now. I wouldn't say it's a combination, but I guess you could be. But it's a combination, a whole bunch of stuff together that makes it. Uh, if anybody's familiar with souse meat, then yeah, I eat that.
Uh, Chad said bacon will go with everything. So yummy for the tummy. I had bacon today.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with bacon.
No, I don't know. I can't cook that or eggs in my house. I just don't like the smell of them cooking. It's weird.
Now
Boiled ham.
I'm not a big like I know I've heard people saying like they have some chocolate covered bacon or something. I don't know. I'm just used to plain old bacon. I don't know if I'm put chocolate on my bacon. I just eat it like it is.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems to be a thing. I think there's like bacon ice cream in places too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Homemade soups. Never had that, LL.
Now I can tell you a weird one. My son, when he was young, and I still don't know how he ate it, but he would eat peanut butter and jelly sandwich. and put bologna on it and
Oh
eat it.
no.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. That was him. But then he won't eat it like that now. Now he's like, that's disgusting. But I don't know how he ate it back then. I didn't think it, but I don't know.
I used to eat peanut butter and mayonnaise.
Yeah, I don't know if I could put them two together either. Two different tastes to me.
It's an interesting combination. I mean, I was a kid when I did it, but
Right.
pretty good. And I thought I was like the only one that's ever done that, but I remember I don't know some stupid thing on Facebook years ago or something, and they were talking about weird food combinations, and you'd be surprised how many people have eaten that.
Oh wow.
I was. Hey, fried garlic bologna. I don't know about that.
Fried garlic.
Yeah, fried garlic bologna.
Yeah, I could probably do that. Yeah. I've
Fried
had
bologna.
bologna. I've had garlic bologna that's got like garlic in it. So I mean, yeah, I could. And I mean fried bologna. Yeah, we had fried bologna sandwiches around here all the time.
Jim Steele said, sliced tomatoes, sliced radishes, sliced onions, touch of salt on toast. Yeah.
I could probably try that. Yeah. There's not many things that I haven't eaten or won't try to eat. I'll try just about anything.
Shrimp wrapped in bacon.
Oh yeah,
Why does
definitely.
this cat always go to food every? Well, because I asked some question.
Oh yeah, I could definitely. Yeah, I'd eat my weight in those. Homemade stew with peanut butter. No, I don't know about. Yeah, I don't know. I'd try it, but I don't know how that would go.
Yeah, I don't know.
We eat chicken gizzards around here. Chicken gizzards and livers fried. So
Never had that.
might have to introduce you to some of that.
I don't know.
Potato
I'm pretty
chips.
daring. I mean, I ate raccoon. I guess I could eat some gizzards and livers, but
Oh yeah, I've had raccoon. So yeah, it's pretty good.
tastes like duck.
It's like a
Dark,
roast. Yeah, dark meat. Yep.
yeah, dark greasy meat. I mean, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't my thing. Nicole used to eat potato chips and ketchup like it was going out of business.
Yeah. That we actually
How do
used
they
to
make
have
ketchup
some.
potato chips?
We used to have some potato chips that were like they were ketchup flavored potato chips, and they were pretty good.
LL wants to know if you eat crawfish.
Oh heck yeah, I'll eat my weight in those frog legs too. Don't put frog legs out in front of me because I'm ready to go.
I've had them. They do kind of taste a little bit like chicken, I guess. Nick Molnar says deer meat. My
Oh
daddy
yeah,
was a hunter, but he must not have been good because I'd never had venison.
really? I'm gonna have to give you some of that. Yeah, deer. I eat a lot of deer meat. There's just about any kind of way you can think: sausage, hamburger, jerky, cube steak. I mean, you name it. Yeah,
I had snapping turtle.
I've had that too. Yep.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, turtle nuggets.
Hey, uh, Practical Ken wants to know if we could ask questions about Digstock. We spent a lot of time getting to know Thomas, so I guess we can wrap up with some Digstock questions.
Yeah.
Hey, Mason Merck metal detecting. Let me tell you about real quick before we get to. Go ahead, Ken. Put it in the chat. I'll put it up. Mason Merck metal detecting is well, the last video was a family outing, but it's a little guy. His name is Mason. He just turned 9, and yeah, he's a little detectorist. Awesome little dude.
Nice.
Yeah, and he took his so it's a dad and son, and they took mom and sis. Sis is a little younger, and she did some detecting herself too. And it
Good.
was cute. In the video, they had a Mason. Mason was helping her out. He's a good
Oh,
big brother. You tell him I said that. He ain't watching. It's late for him.
it's always good when you get the kids in it. I just recently had one where grandfather's coming and he's bringing his granddaughter, and kind of just it would be her first experience, coming to an event like this. So, I thought that's pretty cool, and told him,
Yeah.
they should make some really good memories, and then maybe that's something that she decides to get into and keep on going. So,
Uh, Good night, JVP. It was nice to have you here. I know I'm not sure if I said hi to you, but I hope I did. But hi and bye if I didn't. You rock. Keep being you. Yes, Mason is in bed. Yeah, he's a good little dude. Dad's getting really awesome with the editing on the videos. They got a few out. And apparently the littles, Mason and his sister, helped out with some ideas for the editing, and it's a really good video. It was very nicely done, Jim. It was good. All right, so is there an agenda schedule for the event that would give us an idea of when the cornhole tournament, night hunts, social times, etc. would be for planning? Oh, I didn't get in the cornhole hunt.
Yes, that will all be coming out. We will have the whole itinerary schedule and everything will come out probably about 3 days before. We'll release everything out so everybody will kind of know what's going on and the schedule and everything.
Yeah, I don't think I got into the cornhole tournament. I think I missed the deadline. That's okay. I'm not good at it anyway. Don't well, nobody wants me on their team.
It's going to be good. I mean, it's having our all day thing like we're going to have, and all the different activities going on, all the different the vendors, the manufacturers that's going to be there. It's like I said, it'll be something good for everybody. And we decided, kind of to come up and to do this to give everybody more of a chance to mingle and, kind of give you a little just before everything gets kicked off. Cause, a lot of times once the event starts, and everybody's out digging, you don't have time to do all those other things or maybe get to talk to your specific manufacturer you like or whatever. And with this, you'll be able to do that. Plus, we're going to have some music and,
Yeah.
there'll be some drinks and just everybody gets to mingle around, meet everybody, get to talk, kind of maybe lay out what they want to do and stuff like that. So it's going to be good.
I could probably answer this question for Nicole, but I'll let you answer. Is Thomas going to be running activities or will he get to enjoy the land too?
Not this. We typically, especially in our big events, we don't participate and get out and hunt. We're out kind of riding around. You will see me out riding around, maybe run up to you, ask you how you're doing, what you've been finding, things like that. But especially one this big, we stay pretty busy because as far as staff wise, we don't have but so many. We have some volunteers and stuff. Yep. So I won't really be out there doing it. Like I said, I have to save now. I will say this: the arrowhead hunt that we got coming up in April, that one will be the first one out of some of the smaller events that we're going to do. That one, I will be participating in that one. I will be out there digging with everybody, just having a good old time, seeing what we can find. So that one, yes, I will be in that one.
Good night, John Jacobs. Thanks for joining the stream tonight. You rock, dude.
Yeah,
I will check
appreciate
you
it.
out later. Yeah, I told Ken, don't worry about it. We could play cornhole while everybody else. I mean, we could detect while everybody else is playing cornhole.
Yeah.
That's all right. There's plenty of prizes to win there, so I know that. I see Matt just shared the picture.
Oh yeah, and that's
Yeah.
nothing compared to what we have.
This is a good question. How do you dig for arrowheads just randomly? Maybe just
Um,
like quick.
yeah, so a couple ways that you can do it. Of course, you can just walk the fields and pick them up, find what we call surface finds. And then with this one, because we know that the activity in this area, they actually occupied it right there in that spot because of the things that we found there before. And some people had already found some stuff there before when we had one of our bigger events, but like I said, it wasn't focused on arrowheads. So we went back and we looked and was like, well, this will give everybody a pretty good opportunity. So what we'll do is let you go in yourself and you can actually dig down. You can dig down 2 foot, 3 foot down and start shaving. You'll kind of take your shovels and you can kind of just shave the edge of the walls and you'll hear a little crunch. A lot of times that'll be an artifact or, you'll hear that material and you can look at it and see. A lot of the guys, Jeff Wise, he's a big one. He's really big he loves our arrowhead stuff. And so, you'll be able to do that. You can get material out. You can bring a little sifter. You can screen it. You can do that. There'll be, a couple different ways. But if you get down below a certain layer, that's a lot of times that's where that more ancient layer is as far as where they were actually owned at that time. And, just over the years and stuff, it's been covered up and stuff like that. So once you get down to a certain point, you'd be surprised at the amount of artifacts that you can find down that are lower.
Yeah, I always forget to look in the dirt
Yeah. I mean,
when I'm digging a hole for my metal.
yeah, you've been at some of our events, and I don't know if you remember back to the very first Digstock, and Aquachigger was out there and Riley and all them, and they had holes down that when I pulled up on the four wheeler, there was holes like they looked like somebody dropped cluster bombs off somewhere, and they were down in holes like to their waist and just shaving the sides, looking, and they were pulling out some nice stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it kind of just kicked it off, and we're fortunate that we have a lot of Native American activity in the areas and stuff like that, and being private property and stuff, we can get permission to go and do this stuff.
Uh, do you have a YouTube channel? I don't even know.
The
I mean,
only
I know
YouTube,
you have one to follow people and stuff like that. I mean, do you have one that you upload to or anything?
yeah, the only one I ever had, because I have my other business, which was Evolved Outdoor Expeditions. I have a YouTube
Yeah.
on there. I haven't really posted a lot of stuff. Same thing I have on Instagram, but I stay so busy with the dig stock now, that don't really have much time to post stuff. But I'll still post stuff. I got a Facebook page, with that too. So
All right. So if somebody wanted to find you on what
yeah,
was it?
on anything, it's Evolved Outdoor Expeditions.
Yeah, I'll put your YouTube link up because somebody asked for it.
Okay,
Evolved Outdoor Expeditions.
Expeditions. Yep.
Oh, how was your trip over the weekend? Did you find a good spot?
We
Oh, I'm
did.
subscribed to you. I thought. Yeah, it looked like a nice trip.
Yeah, I had a good time. There'll be some interesting stuff coming out of there. Like I said, our motto has always been for all the hobbies you dig.
Right.
And so anytime that we can incorporate more of that into it, that's what we'll do. And so this is going to give people a different opportunity. Um, I will say if you've ever wanted to find gold or you like gold, then this might be something for you.
Wow, were you what, on the West Coast?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I don't know. That's gonna be a little hard for me to drive to for a day.
Well, we kind of want to start it somewhere. California is a good place to go. And, who knows where it's going to go from there.
Yeah. I guess like it's a 6 hour flight usually, six and a half hours depending where you're talking about.
Yep.
So 2 hours each, 2 to 3 hours. Boarding and deboarding. So I guess it could be a weekend. I don't know. We'll
Well,
see.
there'll be a lot of other things to offer that'll be there with that. So, depending on what people like to do and what they got like to get outdoors and experience stuff, there'll be some other things come along with it. So you just be looking, keep a check on us. We'll be announcing some stuff here for long.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was just gonna joke and say you guys are just going out to California to keep me from driving up for a day.
No, this was not just personal. This is all business. So
No, I know, I know. I'm pretty excited for you guys because I've been there since the day before,
yeah,
and watched the whole dig stock evolve to what it is today.
right.
And I don't think people in the chat, I don't think many of them know that everything that is done for these events, was not a big, huge um, corporation putting it together. It was
Uh,
literally four, now three guys,
yep, yep. Yeah, I mean,
and and
it's come
family
a long
members
ways.
and friends volunteering to help.
Yeah, and it's come a long ways, and then it grew very fast, but there was it was right after COVID hit, and people had been indoors, couldn't get out, and some people were starting to get outdoors. So I think a lot of people were looking for different hobbies, different things to do, and that's kind of kicked it off, I think, even more. But there again, I've learned from doing this that lots of people have different hobbies that they like to do, and some of these things are stuff that all of us as owners we did all our lives already. We've been doing it, And now we're at a point where we'd like to just see other people get to enjoy it and do it. And so we were able to take and put that out and offer it for everybody, and it's turned into what it has.
Yeah, it's a big event,
Yeah,
and it was a learning thing for all of you as well, because it's not like you guys all had jobs running events.
exactly. I mean, a lot of us, some of us had been to events ourselves before and done different things. Other of us, like myself, come in and looking at it as somebody's not come to one and looking at it in a different view. So that kind of evolved into what else can we offer? What is it? What can we make this all about? Everybody may not be able to be as good as somebody else and find things, but what else can we offer? Well, we can offer an experience. We can offer the camaraderie. We can offer the friendships, all these other things, and make it a great experience. And that's what we focused on. And we constantly try to improve on every event. We learn something every time, and we take a lot of feedback from the people that come. Come up to us, give us an idea. You'll be surprised. You may see that idea come out in the next event. So we encourage all that.
Yeah, I'd never give you guys advice. I just go around bothering you.
Yeah, you're good. We have a good time around with you.
No, I know. I have a good time when I go there.
It's
That's
always good.
that is if I get to see you guys, because usually, you're like really busy, and I'm busy trying to be like a social butterfly or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
We,
know,
we stay on the go.
yeah. No, I mean every event, that I've either crashed and hung out with you or attended, it was a great time
Yeah, yeah.
every
Like
time.
it's all about the memories and laughs and having a good time.
Oh, don't get it twisted in the chat, by the way. You can't just go crash these events. They knew I was coming.
Yeah, we know.
I mean, I didn't just show up unannounced and be like, "Hi." No, I gave word that I was going to come up for a day or whatever, and they know I'm respectful and I'm not going to detect. Um,
Yeah,
you know, although I did in North Carolina, but it was not on Digstock property.
no, that's right. Rachel's always been good.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to. I don't. It's not. It takes too much money, too much energy to be an ass.
Yeah, and it don't get you anywhere in the long run. So
No, I don't. So, I mean, I don't know how Nighthawks do it because you got to be worried about somebody seeing you.
oh yeah, and, and there again, that's the thing we always run into that, and having to, come up with ways to deter all that, and then we've got, see we come down to we got night vision and we put cameras out on properties and have people watching areas for us, and that's why we've come down to only having to be, uh, wait 3 days out before we can announce everything.
Yeah, it's just sad you have to do that though. I mean, really sad. Let's see. Fox
What's
on the Ground is real close to 200. Yeah, Mason Merck asked, "What's your best find besides all the people and friends you've made?"
I'd have to go back to kind of like what I hit on at the beginning. I'd say when if you ever have the opportunity to go to Nome or Alaska, it's a beautiful place to go to start with. But I would have to say finding the gold nuggets off of White Earp's gold claim in Nome was probably one of mine, just because of the history and the scenery. It's the only place that I have personally ever been where I was standing up on a mountain, uh, and could look and see the Alaska mountain range and see the Bering Sea at the same time. And to me, it was like, I guess all that stuff together and then finding that and knowing the history behind it, that was, I'd say, probably one of my best ones. Far as back here local, probably most people probably say my best one was the silver Spanish real.
Mhm.
Um, shark's teeth. I have found some nice, decent shark's teeth and stuff like that. I can't say that I found the one big one that I'm looking for yet. So I stay at it. It's always there.
Let's see, man. Yeah, no more questions yet. If you guys have questions, pop them in. We got a few more minutes before we're gonna cut this off. I usually go about an hour and a half, hour and a half. I'll say, what's your favorite thing to do when you're bored?
um, probably flint
Not that
napping.
you can bored right now.
Probably flint napping. In my downtime, when I have my downtime, I like to go out and flint nap. And for those that don't know what that is basically making stone tools the way that Native Americans did. It's the reduction process of the material of stones to make a tool. Whether it be an arrowhead, it could be a spear point, it could be a knife, any of that kind of stuff. That just takes my mind off of things. Um, it's kind of my relaxing period. So, and if I get bored and I have an opportunity, I'll pull out and start beating on rock.
The Ohio Metal Maven asked, when will Digstock be up in the Midwest? Asking for a friend.
Um, we're always working on more properties in different areas. We reach out to different people, and then now, which has got good, is that we have a lot of people reaching out to us with possible places. I can say that we have been looking at prospect areas up around that way. Um, but there again, to put on a certain size event, and then also be able to tell her, make sure that there's some decent stuff in the ground, we have to go put eyes on it physically and then try to test it out. And sometimes it pans out, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it may be some stuff there, but it's just not enough.
Yeah.
Which is why we've kind of come up and we're going to start doing a little bit of the smaller events, smaller hunts. Um, but like I said, it just has to be something worth a while. But we're all working that way. We like I said, we're focused kind of more on the West Coast to start with to get on that side. A lot of people out there don't know us, so it's coming. We're working on it.
She
Our
also said,
goal, we would love to have something in every single state. You know,
yeah, that would be cool.
yeah.
That's a lot of driving for me.
To make that, yeah, make it. I've had a lot of people tell me that, and I don't know. It's just one thing. You would not believe, and Matt, if you see Matt, you can, he would attest to this. I have so much video footage of things that I've done over the years, and I just don't sit down and edit and put it together and put it out there. There's no telling how many years worth of stuff I could put a video out every week, every month, and have, and I just don't. I just haven't done it. But yeah, I've had a lot of people say that, and I may do that.
Yeah, you could probably even like when you have time in between, scouting for Digstock, putting together Digstock, testing the ground for Digstock. By the way, when they do test the ground for these events where they want to hold them to get a feel and to make sure there's things in the ground for people attending the find, they don't remove the item, they actually put it back.
Yeah, I mean, let's say we get in there and we find a couple things that tells us that these areas are good, and we leave it. That's it. It's not like we're out there, all picking up all kinds of stuff for ourselves and that. We have other places that are private that we go and we do those things, little small spots. But anytime it's a big area like this, or something really good that we know that can put other people on and have a good chance, that's what we save it for.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do too, because you don't want to secure, few hundred acres and find out there's not even like a,
It,
you know,
exactly.
there's not even like a 2021 penny.
Right.
700 people on the ground going, what the hell, man?
And
Yeah.
that's why, we also come up and offer a lot of times, certain ones will do a seated event too, that let's say that there's stuff there, but, there again, because we can't guarantee anything, we know there's stuff there. We don't know how much stuff is there, but we may come up and that's why we say, well, hey, let's throw in a seated hunt to go along with this, or other things. And then we have the raffles, we have the giveaways and all the other stuff, for that.
Well, you know, to wrap up about Digstock, because I don't see any too many other questions about it, but the main thing you'll get out of attending any event is a really good time with a bunch of awesome people that you wouldn't have had if you stayed home and detected 1 year little permissions. So
Exactly. Yep.
you'll get to meet people you haven't met before in person that you've chatted online with for period of time. Um,
Yeah.
DB says, I'm surprised that folks enjoy a seated hunt. I like seated hunts. I think they're great little competitions, really, if you look at it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I've like I said, doing this now and being one of the ones that put on these events, I've seen it now that there's people out there who enjoy just nothing but a seated hunt. So we there again, if we can kind of offer that, and offset some other things and stuff, and then there's some people that want nothing but a natural hunt, and so we try to give as much as we can for everybody to have a little something different. So I've
Yeah,
seen it both ways.
to each their own, I say. But I like seated. I get frustrated sometimes. I've been to seated hunts where they remember to tell people with multi frequency to put it in single frequency, because the Noxes will kill all the Garrett's.
Mm-hmm.
No Garrett's going to hear anything when a Nox and multi is nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Or they forget to tell them also, or they. I went to one where I said to the guy, I said, you need to tell people with the Noxes to put it in single frequency, and they don't need their sensitivity all the way up. This is on a beach seated event, and he was like, I'm not going to tell these people what to do. And I was like, but you're the one hosting the event. You just made it unfair to half your people here who paid the same money as the ones with the multi frequency machines. That's not right. Um,
Let me check something real quick. Hold on.
yeah. Haha, Nicole. Push the Noxels over. I remember actually I found that out at one event up in New York before Digstock events. Um, that I was doing good, man. I was picking up all kinds of silvers, and then a couple guys with multi-frequency Noxes with their sensitivity full blast came nearby, and that was it. My finding time was done because I couldn't hear anything. Oh, your phone booted you off, Patty. But yeah, I like. Are you talking about North Carolina? Oops, we just lost Thomas. I'm sure he'll come back up and say goodnight to y'all. It'll kill at Apex too, believe it or not, Nicole. Oh, I'm sorry about that, DB. I wish Patty could go to Gypsy's event too. I wish I could go because initially when she was having it in the fall, I was supposed to go to help her out, but now she had to change the date and be at Digstock the weekend before, so I'm not able to make it. I feel bad. But if this event goes well, she'll have others. I don't know if he knows his phone went off. Let's see. Yeah, he didn't message me. Um, so we'll just wait for him to pop back up before we say goodnight because I don't want to seem like, oh, well, my phone went off and she just like ended the stream. What the heck? We don't want to do that. But yeah, let's see if we got, let me check that. Fox on the ground. 195 still. I know we can get it. Fox on the ground, it's 200. I know we can do it. We've done it. I'm still on the fence about the Garrett hunt, Patty. I want to go. I planned on going. I may still go. Appreciate me taking part in the madness. It was fun last night. Your first live stream was very good. You should be proud of yourself. Technical difficulties happen. You see, Thomas just disappeared on me. Why does my soda taste weird? It almost tastes like a cherry Coke, but it's not. It's regular. I don't know. It tastes weird. It's a weird feeling getting to have fun. Yeah, it was a little. So Ken, you're talking about the one in North Carolina, right? Yeah, the parking was a little tight. Um, I think it was mentioned. I don't remember if it was on my stream or another one, and I was watching it. That they did talk about the parking a little bit. I think it might be a little better than last time, but I think it'll still be if you can pull over to the side of the road. No, you didn't cuss once. You're right, Nicole. You did very good. You were very good hostess, and you didn't cuss one time. I've let a couple mild expletives or couple mild cuss words come out, but I'm gonna guess that Thomas had let's technical difficulties himself. I don't think he's gonna come back up. Maybe his phone died. You put your silly mouth in the corner. I'm a Jersey girl. Some of the words we like to use up here to make you blush. But I do thank you all who stuck around. There was a good portion of you who did for hanging out tonight. Thank you for the ones who popped in for the first time from Nick Molnar. Yeah, YouTube's good for that, Patty. I've gotten notifications 3 days later, so I guess YouTube decides what notifications have the utmost importance to you. Rachel Shoes made in Japan. Good night, expressions of the outdoors. Oh, Danny boy. For those of you that I just typed a hello in the chat to you rather than saying your name, it wasn't because I didn't feel you're worthy of that. It was because I didn't want to interrupt the guest while he was talking, and I wanted to let you know that I saw you come in. I may have missed one or two people coming in. Okay, so he said his phone got down to 10% and shut down. So I'm going to tell him all good. I'm going to tell him you want to come back up, say goodnight. I'll see if he pops up to say goodnight to you all. So yeah, thanks for joining in tonight. Every one of you, I appreciate each of you individually and as a whole. I know that by sharing out Fox on the Ground, we can get Fox on the Ground to 200. Actually, over 200 if each of us share. Especially those of us that have community posts. I think a lot of us do. Share out Fox on the Ground. Each of our little goals are big goals to each of us. Here's Thomas. He's going to say, he's getting on. Let's see if he gets on. Good night, DB. You rock. You're an awesome person. You have a great name. Dawn is one of my favorite names because it's my middle name. Thanks for joining, Mason Merck. I don't know if Thomas is able to get up because that's what we got right now. If he doesn't come up, I'll let him know that I'll say goodnight to you all for him. I'm telling him now. said, I'll tell them you said good night. Well, Fox on the Ground, you can make a recap video, take some of your best footage, and just make a short little recap video. And like I said, treasure to each of us is a different meaning. It could be anything. It doesn't just have to be things you dug out of the ground. Looks like he might get on. I don't know. Wait and see. What we got? Nope, still trying. You're all right, Mark. I'm still working on my dad jokes. Mark the lurker. Yeah, so you could do a number of things to have content to throw up, like I said, put a best of 2022, put bloopers if you got some bloopers. Yeah, his phone's not going to let him come up. You can do a video on the gear you use. You could, if you're really good at it and you know all the ins and outs and ups and downs of like anything, you could do a how-to video. There's lots of things you could do to upload something to keep you in the algorithm, because that's you need stuff to do that. You got to be, as consistent as you can be. Things happen, weather happens, whatever. We're in such a niche hobby that sometimes you got to go a little bit outside the hobby and see what works. I mean, I've been out a few times and I didn't find squat, and I still assembled a video for your entertainment, and hopefully you were entertained. Or as Madison Main says, are you entertained? So, just keep doing you, Tom. Hey, Tom Kingery. I think I said hi to you, but just in case. I will let Thomas know that you all said good night back to him. So have a great rest of the week. Check out Lost Boys Recovery tomorrow night. He didn't say what time, so just go to his channel and hit the notification bell. But he's already got it set up so you can, wait, put yourself in there to wait. Like it, and it puts you as you're waiting. Also, you have Ohio River History tomorrow night, Thursday night. Hashtag I Dig Fridays. Saturday is the Main Diggers. Sunday Digs. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. Digging Sundays. And then Monday Digs. Hashtag Monday Digs on Monday. Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Flash in your pan. Wednesday night, me. Iron Antler Adventure also. Iron Antler Adventures starts streaming a half hour before me, and sometimes it's still going after me. I'm actually going over my normal time tonight. So thank you all again. You guys have a great week. Yeah, digging Sundays. Thank you, Mona. So that means we have 4 days of back-to-back videos, and that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So that's awesome. We are always entertained. Oh yeah, and Mark the Berg tomorrow night at 8 p.m. You're gonna have to dual chat, people. Dual chat, because I don't know what time Lost Boys is going on. So Mark the Berg is Thursdays at 8 p.m. Lost Boys he doesn't normally step on toes, but his guest couldn't do Sunday. So make sure you visit each of them. And thank you all for visiting me tonight and hanging out. Peace to each of you. Have a great night and a great week, and find some bucket listers this weekend. And remember, be kind to each other.